Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm sitting down again with Mr. Brandon Young from DataDive. We are going to be diving into our results from our product launch that we did recently. So we launched at the beginning of June. So far, it has been an incredible launch. We have an update video coming with all of the numbers and information about it in terms of revenue and profits and all of those goodies. For today, we are going to be diving in with Brandon, getting his opinion on how things have been going, taking a look at how we're ranking on some keywords, and so much more. So Brandon, welcome into another video. How's it going today?
Great to see you, Mike. I'm excited to see how things are going. I know we spent a lot of time going through researching the niche, looking at different routes, different use cases. So I'm excited to see, like, from the listing writing, the actions and ads that you've taken, how you've indexed and you know, been able to rank and convert for a lot of these different keywords, because there's so many use cases, so many styles that you're going up against. So I'm excited to dig into it and see what we can do to take the next step to grow it.
Amazing. So what I'll do now is I'll share screen, and we're going to take a look at first the rank radar feature inside of DataDive. And I'm super excited to see what you think of it all.
Nice. Let's do it. Wow. Okay. So this is what I'm seeing right away, and let me explain what Rank Radar is for everyone watching, so that you can see. This is your keyword tracker. So you've got your master keyword list that you've curated. You curate that usually to pack in all of the keywords that you feel you can get sales from, and so we've built that up, and then you use that list, that master keyword list, to write your listing with the writing tool, and then to launch a bunch of ads, right? So the keywords are the key to everything. Now you're using them to track your progress in your organic ranks. So this is the most basic view that you got pulled up here. And really, it's just a heat map of what's been happening since you launched it. And the first things that stick out to me are when you see orange and red, you typically have some kind of indexing issue. You have what we call a relevancy or an indexing issue. That means that Amazon is not sure that you're selling that product, or that product is relevant, that keyword is relevant to your product. So there's some issues here that we have to diagnose, and there's better ways to diagnose it than this view. So one of the first things I'm going to have you do is click the roots button, and that's going to, again, remember, that's the foundation of how we do everything and optimize. It's going to group together all the words that have or phrases that have repeated words and phrases in them. So by the root, the repeated word or phrase. So now we've got at the top four with the most search volume. You know, you've got some oranges and reds in there, but you're doing an amazing job for closet, for carry closet, and then going down a little bit further, you're doing a great job for hanging, and you're doing an awesome job for closet, suitcase, carry closet, suitcase. You know, so I can see that there are a lot of really positive things here, but we want to kind of dig a little bit deeper. So what I want to do is, if we scroll back up to the top, let's look at some of these really big words here that we're struggling with and see what we can do about it. So suitcase organizer is the first root word that I would say is very relevant to what you're selling, and is a phrase that you can take and go search and you'd find your product. So I call that a relevant root. So to me, relevant roots, really important. So we're going to expand that root. If you can expand it down, let's take a look at all the keywords that are in that root. And these are outliers. You're doing really good for two of them, for hanging suitcase organizer hanging. But just suitcase organizer, you're not doing as good. So there's a disconnect here with hanging suitcase and suitcase organizer hanging, and just suitcase organizer and suitcase organizers as a plural. You're doing better on the organizers, which is interesting as well. And then travel suitcase organizer, you're struggling with. I would guess that travel suitcase organizer is probably going to be something that you can fix fairly easily. It's not a lot of search volume. So if you go ahead and click on your listing up top. So if you go all the way up, you can actually just go straight to it by clicking on that. Yeah, maybe the BSR. Yeah. Oh, that's not clickable up there. We just switched our header. It used to be able to just click on the picture. That's funny. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay.
It's the photo. It's just user error, not software error.
Well, we've changed things on you. It's our fault. So you got a lot of overlays here for all your tools. It's pretty cool. Wow, it looks great. I do love your main image. I love that it shows a lot of cool things. Now you did have some innovation to your listing as well, where you have the I remember you have the jewelry stuff on the side, so I love that you feature that. I remember you having a roll bar on the bottom or something as well, or I guess you would just have hooks there or something.
Yeah, so one thing that we decided to do is take out the bar, and the bar, taking it out was a byproduct of weight for shipping, a byproduct of actually cost. It was our first run. So instead, what we decided to do, if we blow this up a little bit, we actually have 5 hooks.
Yeah, I see that.
And
Yeah.
you're able to then put in hangers underneath and still be able to hang clothes on it while saving space, as an end user, as well
That's
as
great.
we're able to save some shipping and actual material cost by doing this as well.
Awesome. One of the things that I'll call out on this is like, and I'm sure you have experts on conversions and stuff. What's super interesting that people need to be aware of is that the choices of even the accessories you put matter for conversion and click through. So the clothes that you chose to hang there can make a difference, right? So that the whether how clean they are, how professional they are, speak to who you're trying to sell to. So right now, I feel like you're selling to a teenage girl or a young girl that's going away to college based on the clothes that are hung there, right? And the colors of the shirts and the things that are rolled up inside, and like the purple shirt up top, the pink in the middle, right? So I'm seeing like this is geared more towards a woman shopper. I probably a little bit younger, more like there's some yoga pants or whatever in there, right? Now, those are things to be tested. So the funny thing is, like, you can spend a lot of time just changing that one shirt with the that's a little wrinkled with the stripe on the sleeve. You change that to a different shirt or to a different article of clothing, you might see a 0.02% increase in conversion. It's that crazy, right? So it's this is kind of stuff that I just wanted to like talk about and comment on. We're going to get into conversion rates and optimization of the keywords right now. But the keyword that we wanted to call out was the suitcase, travel suitcase organizer, right? Travel suitcase organizer. Let's go find where suitcase organizer is in your listing. You have hanging suitcase organizer for travel. So this is why Amazon thinks it's relevant. You have a rank in the 30, 40s range. That tells me that Amazon thinks it's relevant, but it's not an exact match, unlock full potential type of relevancy, right? Now, and the suitcase organizer keyword is smashed in between a few other keywords, so you're not getting full credit just for suitcase organizer right now, which is why you have the 101. So in order to unlock the much bigger keyword, now you're doing great on these other keywords. We got to see how your conversion rate is on the ads for them, for all of them, right? So let's go back over. Let's turn on ads for this entire route. And I like to focus like one route at a time. There's not a lot of keywords here, but there's a decent amount of search volume. You don't need, let's, it's okay. Yeah, let's just scroll across. I guess by doing that, you highlighted it so it was easier to see, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for here.
Yeah. The aesthetic of it. That's good. All right. So what I'm seeing here is that your conversion on the big keyword is not good at all either, right? 177 clicks and only 2 units sold. So that 1% conversion rate is actually killing you and killing your margin. And despite the fact that you don't have relevancy because you haven't isolated the keyword, I would say that this is also hurting your rank, right? Now, the travel suitcase organizer is a struggling keyword as well. I mean, you've got 17 clicks, no sales. And then you've got 4% conversion on the hanging suitcase organizer. Probably your most relevant keyword which is why your conversion rate as a whole is really high, or higher compared to the other keywords. And we did pretty good. What's the one? Suitcase organizers, plural. You got 3 clicks and 1 sale. Suitcase organizer. Go back to the listing. Let me see if you have suitcase or like Control F for organizers with an S. Yeah, right there in the title. So you have it in the title, and it's organizers for suitcase. So you have a broad match, and the way that broad match works is that you've got about a 30% unlock, maybe 40% unlock on the full potential of that keyword. But it's not I'm not sure. It's just a not quite cashing in all the credit in the bank. So broad match is better than too far apart or uncertainty. And so you're going to see better ranks there, the 20s, 30s. When you start to get the I'm not sure, Amazon's not sure what you're selling, you're going to be in the 30s, 40s. And when Amazon doesn't think it's relevant at all, that's when you get the 101s, the reds and the 101s, right? So what we're trying to do is see, okay, we're a month in or more, right? We got a ton of data. I like to do this, 2 to 3 weeks in, because I can diagnose those indexing issues sooner, and then reverse course a little bit. I can take the stuff out that's not as highly converting, and then I can fix the indexing issues. So here's my SOP for everyone watching. I have my team look at this. If we go back to the MKL or to the tracker, I'm sorry. So if we go back to Rank Radar, and maybe we can zoom out. I know it's going to be a little small for some people, but let's look at the PPC data, and then let's zoom out just a touch so people can see all the data. What I want, scroll just slightly to the right so you can see conversion rate. What I'm looking for are this order of optimization. Number one, we have to fix conversion rate, right? So you don't want to run traffic or spend any money until conversion rate is fixed. That's number one. Number two is fix indexing. Again, you don't want to send traffic to something and get a bunch of sales and clicks unless it's going to impact your organic ranks. So in order for it to impact your organic ranks, you have to fix the indexing. So step one, conversion rate. Step two, indexing. Then step three, if those two things check out, then you need to decide whether you're going to spend more or less money. So if you're unable to fix the conversion rate, you probably back it down a little bit and not spend as much money. If you're unable, or it's not relevant, the keyword that you were accidentally targeting with your ads because you're hitting it with a broad match or phrase match, and we're going to probably find a few of those in here when we pull out some more of these routes, we can go and instruct our ads team to add those to negative, right? We're like, okay, this entire root word is just not working. We're getting crushed on it. Let's add it to negative, or let's back it off, or reduce the spend significantly. Sometimes there's a brand name you're targeting on accident, or that you're just not converting on, isn't relevant. Sometimes there's an age group, right? And in our case here, you've got SoulGuard. Let's expand SoulGuard here, because that was the big brand that I remember that you told me was not selling on Amazon, but sells for a ton of money, and a lot of people target it. And we'll see here that you've got indexed for a lot of these keywords, you got indexed for one keyword, SoulGuard carry-on closet luggage. But the other keyword, SoulGuard luggage, you're not. And they do sell a bag, like actual luggage too, right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So the luggage itself is not relevant, but you've only wasted 2 clicks on it. I wouldn't worry about it. You can probably even just stop tracking it, right? Like save your keywords that you're tracking so that it cleans up your data set here in your like what you're doing. So you would just select it and then hit pause if you wanted to, but you have other stuff selected. So yeah, so you just select it and then hit the pause button. Let's pull it out of the data set so that it cleans up our what we're tracking and how good we're really doing. And that way my team, I do this so that my team can go back in later and be like, they're only seeing stuff that's relevant, that's important, that we actually want to target or optimize. And then they can make notes in here as well.
Yeah.
So now this looks a lot better.
I just wanted to take a second there and call that out, because obviously we're looking at so much data. And so if you're watching this video and you're like overwhelmed of where to look and what to look at, if you can go in and start to strategically make these decisions that we're talking about, things that aren't relevant, things that you're wasting spend on, things you're going to negative anyway, it's going to clean this up so much for you. And you're just going to be left with all of the stuff that you need to care about. And it'll be very clear which levers you then need to pull. So I really just wanted to call that out, which is a great point.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome to pause and talk about. Now, what's really cool here is like on the Soul Guard, you're targeting it with 2 phrase campaigns and 2 broad campaigns. Now, you've got an agency that's doing this for you that's pretty good, I imagine, at this, but they've got a lot of overlap in their campaigns. Now, typically a good strategy with overlap is that you're going to have higher bids for one type of campaign that converts a little bit higher. You're also going to have different ad placements, so you can bid more for top of search because you can have multipliers on different placements. That way, like for example, if I run an ad to start of just a phrase campaign or a broad campaign, and I see that my ad performs significantly better in rest of search than in top of search, what I'll do is I can lower the bid, but increase the placement multiplier significantly for rest of search. And just by default, I'm not going to be bidding enough now to get top of search. And it's gonna optimize that campaign now so that it's only focused on the rest of search. Now, let's say it's doing good in 2 places, but not a third. Well, I want to separate that, right? So what I'll do is I'll do the same strategy, but I'll do 1 for top of search campaign and 1 rest of search campaign. And then that way I'm not showing up on the detail pages, my competitor detail pages where I'm not converting. And I can optimize now by placement. So having overlaps okay, but you've got to be very strategic about it. Like, why are you doing certain things with your ads in order? And at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is, again, maximize the traffic and conversions in order to get the most impression rank, the lowest impression rank. And you can see here, your impression rank for Soul Guard carry-on closet luggage is number 4. What that means to me is that there are 3 people who are getting more impressions than you on that keyword, despite you being number 11. Now, what I don't know about the category is 3% conversion rate enough to justify you spending more money to where you want to try to get into number 1 in impression rank so you can bump that rank from 11 to 3, for example, right? So these are the things that I'm trying to triangulate as far as data goes. There are a lot of if-then statements that you need to make and a lot of suggestions you make when you see triangulation of data points. So what I'm looking for is low impression rank. So I'm not doing a good job. Like, there are a lot of people getting a lot more impressions than me. I've got high conversions. So I know that I'm going to convert if I spend more money. And I've got a rank that can improve that doesn't have any indexing issues. So again, I went through that list of fixed conversions, fixed my indexing. Now I'm looking, do I need to spend more or less money, right? If we go up to hanging, it looks like your impression rank is number 2. Let's expand hanging as far as a route. As an average, you're number 2 for this root word, which is pretty significant. Now, means you're spending a ton of money on this route is what this means, right? Like, there's only one other person getting more impressions than you on average from all these keywords. Now, there are keywords in here individually where you're number 6, right? Travel hanging organizer. You've got 7 clicks, no sales. It's not performing well, but organically you're number 1. So those 7 clicks have contributed to you getting there. It looks like they've backed off of it because there's no exact, no phrase, no broad campaigns anymore running on it. You just have an auto campaign that hits it every once in a while, and that's okay, right? Because you're number 1 organically, and that's awesome. Now, so as a whole, you're spending a lot of money to crush the hanging root word and all these keywords, but I've got a big glaring issue for you, is that 101 there, right? Now, first was if we diagnose conversion rate. You've got a 14% conversion rate with one of these where you've got 1 sale and 7 clicks. Not a lot of data. I'm in the way here, so I can't really see. Like, I think our pictures are in the way. I can't really see. All right, yeah. So what is that keyword there? That is hanging suitcase. Lower search volume, under 1,000, but you're number 2 in impressions. You've got 1 sale on 7 clicks. You're organically number 1. Not a lot of work to do. It's gotten hit 7 times from an auto campaign. All of these clicks from your auto campaign show me that you're really trusting Amazon to go and find these keywords that it thinks are relevant, and they're delivering. You're getting a lot of clicks in this auto campaign. It seems pretty aggressive, but that's good because now you're getting a lot more exposure across a lot more of this MKL, and we're getting more data. We need data, so we got to spend a lot of money in the beginning, which you're doing plenty of. What I'm worried about though, your highest conversion here is the 4%, and that's higher than the average of all the other routes, so that's pretty good, and that has a lot of data. That's 12 sales on 289 clicks. And if we look at it, you've got hanging suitcase organizer. You're number 3 in impression rank, which means there's 2 other people spending more money than you. Presumably, it could be the guy that's number 1 and number 2, right? Because you're number 3 organically. You bounce between 1, 2, and 3. You guys are fighting for this keyword. It's only got 2,000 search volume, but you're converting on it. But you've got a phrase campaign. You've got 3 broad campaigns that overlap with it, and you've got an auto campaign. Now, three broad campaigns is concerning to me for one keyword, because what that means is that they've probably reversed these words or used plurals, and it's easy to overlap on broad, because if you have hanging suitcase organizer and suitcase hanging organizer and suitcase organizer hanging in 3 different campaigns, all of those will hit this keyword, because broad just means it's the same word just reversed, right? Different orders, right? And it also targets all the conjunctions too. So the hanging, suitcase organizer and hanging suitcase organizers, it hits plurals and conjunctions. So you've got a lot of targets in broad. And if you're targeting it 3 times, we need a strategy there. Why are we doing that? Are we doing it because of placement? Are we doing it because we're waterfalling? A certain way, that kind of needs to be looked into, but it's working because you've got a higher conversion. You're number 3 organically. I would probably start to optimize there. So I would look at and say, okay, which 3 campaigns? Now, when we turn on our ads module for Data Dive in the next, 6 or 9 months, what's cool is you're going to be actually able to click that 3, and it's going to pull it up right there for you and show you the 3 campaigns that are targeting it. And then you'll be able to optimize it right here in Data Dive, right? We're not there yet, and we haven't, but we're building it now. So we're not there yet, but that's something like I wanted to tease out that we're excited about, that we're spending a lot of money building. Now, the 101, let's see, why are we not indexed? What's the word in that keyword that we do not have in our listing? I'm guessing it's clothes. It's either travel bag or clothes, right? So let's go look at our listing. Now you got hanging travel bag for clothes. So you got versatile hanging travel bag for clothes. Let's go look over there. What is that, the exact word? It says versatile hanging travel bag for clothes.
It's hanging travel bag for clothes.
That's the exact keyword. Let's get rid of versatile. So let's make a note to go optimize this bullet. Let's take out and make sure that we rewrite that bullet to isolate that keyword a little bit more.
And this is something we can do in Data Dive, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we can go look at the listing that you have in the listing builder and push it directly to Amazon if you have it connected. The other thing is, you can send it to your team. You could do it on the back end of Seller Central, but as they get more connected, we'll be able to do that a lot easier as well. So that's part of what we're building. Yeah.
And even in where I was taking this was even in here, we can add a highlight with information, right?
Yeah. So go ahead and make a note to your team that handles this, right? And say, check bullet and remove versatile from in front of the keyword, or whatever you want to do, right? You'll have your own note system and color-coded system. And then you can tag your teammate here too, so you can actually at them.
I don't think we have
Uh,
anyone connected on this rank radar, which is our problem. But if we had a team, you're saying then we could tag them in here.
yeah, there's an opportunity to tag in your note, maybe not in highlight. Oh, not in highlights. It's in notes. It's in the chat. So if you go ahead and you hit add, right? So that's a note there that you made, and then your whole team can have like gold or whatever color you want. But close now this that you opened on the right, and then hit the chat in the top right.
Oh.
And then
Comment?
now you can add a comment and at someone and be like, note the change or whatever, and there they are there.
We'll tag one of our team leads, Eric.
Yeah, and now they've got a notification on their end in Data Dive to go into this page, and they're going to see the highlight and know exactly what the highlight relates to. And then here they can actually respond back to you after you put this. They can respond to this thread on the right in the comment section to let you know it's done or whatever, right?
There we go. We'll send that over.
Oh, I don't know why that happened, but it is pretty cool that that we're trying to help teams that like you as the team leader can push these things to people. Now we've got that issue there. Maybe that'll fix that. If it doesn't, we need to move it out of the second bullet and put it somewhere more prominent because it's a pretty big keyword, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like this root is really important. So as a whole, we need to fix that indexing issue. So that's again step 2. I'm sure you're going through and looking at conversion things. Let's go down one more. Let's look at another really great route here that you've got a lot of stuff going on with high conversion. You've got, what's another big route that you wanted to address?
Maybe travel closet.
Yeah, let's look at travel closet.
Right here.
5%. That's fantastic.
Let's move us out of the way here.
Yeah, let's do that, and then you can hit that. It's only 2 keywords in here that we're tracking, so we could have probably done more. But I love 8% conversion, but it's only 12 clicks. Not a lot of data there. 26 clicks, 1 sales, not great either. But even so, you're number 4 organically as an average, 2 and 5. 2,000 search volume, 1,000 search volume. Fantastic job getting to top 5 for a lot of these keywords in the first month, 6 weeks of launch. And what this is telling me is your impression rank for that first keyword, travel closet, is 2. There's only one other person spending more money. I don't think we need to spend more money. We don't have a lot of data, and it's not great. It's still only 3.8%. So my thinking is where you can make the most ground up right now would be to invest heavily in a bunch of main image options. And remember, one of the things I told you that you would struggle with, do you remember what I told you you'd struggle with and why your conversion was going to be lower than your competitors?
Not enough variations.
And not enough variations, 100%. So I think that the 2 things that are going to fix variations for you is variations. Let's get 3, 4, 5 more colors launched immediately, and styles and whatever else you want to do, right? Make sure the variations are in line with Amazon's catalog, because if you do colors and then you put a different style, you're going to get dinged on it. They're going to rip it apart. Like, you got to be careful. Amazon's enforcing that a lot now. And then the other thing I would invest in is main images. Like, let's get some messaging done here to bump this conversion rate around like what our images are. Change the clothes in there. Maybe there's guys shopping and they're seeing the pink and the little clothes and they're like, I don't know if that's going to fit me. Will it hold my suit, right? Maybe you got to try like with some more professional clothes, business travelers, right? Let's go back to our avatars that we found with the AI product brief. Actually, we can run that right now again, right? Like, we could, if you want to go to the AI product brief, this right there, yeah. And then select the top 10. Make sure you select yours. Wait, did you add yours to the MKL yet? Yeah, there you are. You're there. I saw it. Voyaj.
Right.
Yeah, make sure then select the next few bestsellers, right? And let's run it. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
And then while you're doing that, you can go back to the MKL and refresh it. Have you done the compare yet?
I tried it for the first time today. This is a brand new feature, so I'm very excited
Brand new.
to actually use it. But I
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
at it today. Let's check it out.
So you just flip the compare button and it's going to ask you which MKL do you want to compare it to, and you're going to see there's all the movements, right? So right now you're looking at a dive from 4 weeks ago and today, or is the newest dive from 4 weeks ago?
That must be.
Dive again now. We gotta get new data, man. You've got a lot of movement. And then what it's going to do is tell you like, okay, I've moved from X to Y. Search volume's gone up. We found more keywords. These sellers have moved in rank, you know, and now we've got the pin feature too. So I don't know if you had Voyaj pinned to the left, but you can pin your listing now too.
Let's do it. Let's see it in action. And while we're waiting for this and the AI product brief, which will take just a couple minutes here, pulling tons of data,